of data mining. That is for important to be noted. And there are a lot of common elements between the text mining and the data mining. So that is the second thing. There are a lot of commonalities, the common elements which we can find it out between this text mining and the data mining. So I'm writing it as a short form, text mining and the data mining. Then there are few differences. I do agree that even there are commonalities, but still we can find out there are some differences or few differences, I could say. So the differences also we can find it out between, give me a minute time. What is this happening? Okay, so there are certain differences between even text mining as well as the data mining. Data mining. Okay. Text mining as well as the data mining. Okay, so what are these few differences or some of the differences between the text mining and the data mining? We need to understand it for the today's class. Okay, so the key differences is the text mining requires the conversion of the text data into the frequency of the data. So please understand this. The fourth important point to be noted when before we could go and compare and contrast between the text mining and the data mining. So the key difference is that the text mining requires conversion of the text data require the conversion of the text data into patterns, so that into the frequency data, to be frank, sorry. Okay, the frequency data. So this is one thing which we need to we need to understand and note down as the important thing before. See, once we do this, the requirement conversion of the text data is converted into the frequency data, then only to be frank, we can apply any data mining technique on that frequency of data. So you can apply any DM technique for such kind of frequency data. So in this term, actually speaking, there are a few differences we can make it out with respect to the text mining and the data mining. So let us see the dimensions, means what are the dimensions which are being used to compare and contrast between this text mining and the data mining. So those dimensions are the nature of the data, which is most important. So what kind of the data we are trying to use it to compare the text mining and the data mining. So this is the first dimension. The second dimension is the clarity and the precision. The clarity and the precision. Second dimension is the clarity and the precision. So third dimension is the consistency. The fourth dimension is the sentiment, because we were talking from the day one of the class, the sentiment, emotions, when we are performing the text mining, right? So sentiment is one of the important dimension. Then obviously the quality, so that makes the sense of another dimension, quality of the data, okay? Sixth dimension is the analysis, means the way we do the analysis, or we call it the dimension as the nature of analysis. So in this terms, we are going to make a comparison and the contrast between the text mining and the data mining. Is it I'm audible? Is it I'm audible, dears?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So these are the dimensions what I have just been
Yes, ma'am.
listed out. So let us see the comparison and the contrast between the two things called as the text mining as well as the data mining, text mining and the data mining. So here we can make an observation when we see that the process of the nature of the data. So the text mining data need not be necessarily the structured data. We know that messaging, how I message may not be the same way the other person message. Do you all agree with me? Because I might be typing the complete words with the complete spelling, the correct spelling, but people might be using U means not YOU, they may write it as just the letter U. Okay, so message means I may write the complete word with the spelling message, but the other people may use the short form of the message as MSG, right? So the text mining data, the nature of the data is not always the structured, but always it is unstructured, but we don't know. Sometimes we may get a structured data also, but this unstructured data, it is purely text-based data, and we know that what is the process of getting the words. So we have been considered the first element or the first level of the analysis happen on the back of important words, then the phrases, then the sentences. So that's what it has been given here. So unstructured data, words, phrases, sentences are the kind of the data which is being considered in the text mining. Okay, so next, what kind of the data which will be there in the data mining. See, data mining need not be necessarily a text. It could be alphabetic, it could be numeric, or it could be some kind of any other quantitative logical values. So that's why the nature of the data could be number, alphabetical and logical value. So that's what the kind of the data or the nature of the data in terms of text mining and data mining. So the second dimension was supposed to be listed here. Okay, I'll put it as this. This is my okay. Second is the languages used. Okay, so the languages used is being missed here. And this is my third, this is my fourth, this is my fifth, this is my sixth, and the seventh is nature of analysis. So let us go back to the language used to be discussed. So there are many languages and which can be used in the world, okay, because text need not be necessary the whole world. The text should be in English, it could be in German, it could be in Greek, it could be in Latin, or it could be UK English or US English. There are variations in the spellings, there are variation in the pronunciations, the phrases. Okay, the way we make the phrases may not be the same with another country English also. That's why we could see that in English only there are a lot of variants. So many languages are extinct. So new documents are supposed to be discovered with respect to the languages used in terms of the languages used for the text mining. Okay, so next is what kind of the languages used for the data mining means. Again, it is similar to numerical systems which are being used across the world. Okay, so let us come back to the third dimension, that is clarity and the precision. So what kind of the data we are going to get it in the text? Obviously the words, the text, the phrases, the sentences, and sentiment may be a contradiction in terms of the word. So the sentences can be ambiguous in terms of the text, but whereas very much it is precisely defined in terms of data mining, because the data mining, it is fixed. Whatever the data I'm trying to pick it up, the number of the times the milk and the bread is being bought. So the frequency is the numerical value, which is very much precise and fixed. Okay, so the number are precise, but here in text it is not fixed, it is ambiguous because the character based values. So then the consistency, what type of the data consistency we can expect it, or information consistency means, so it is going to vary. So the different parts of the text can contradict with each other. Obviously, how I pronounce the word tuple, the other people pronounce it as tuple, correct? So the way it has been expressed, the spelled, or it could be pronounced, it is not the same as one person with another person. That's why the difference is the different parts of the text can contradict with other, Then in terms of the data mining, so the different parts of the data can be inconsistent. So that's what we do, is we try to do a significant statistical analysis. We try to do it. Then it comes to sentiment. Absolutely, it is not at all applicable in the data mining. Please make a note of it. Nowhere the sentimental analysis or some kind of a sentiment data we are trying to get it in terms of any kind of a generic data mining process. But when it comes to the text mining process, the text may be present a very clear, consistent, and it could be having a mixed sentiment. Okay, so across the continuum, and the spoken words add the further sentiment. So this is very much important in the text, which is not at all applicable or not at all been there in the data mining process. Then the quality of the data comes into picture. So when it comes to the text mining, obviously the words, phrases, sentences, letters, right, alphabets, so spelling errors. How I spell may not be the same way the other X, Y, Z or PQ or person spells. Okay, so it will be differing the values. So the differing values of the proper nouns such as names, varying the quality of the language translation. But when it comes to the quality of the data, in terms of data mining, means the issues only with the missing values come, because missing value means what is that value, whether it is numeric or alphabetic or alphanumeric or nothing, not an applicable value. So that need to be clarified in terms of data mining as a difference by the dimension quality. So the quality of the data varies between the text mining and the data mining. So the last dimension to be considered as the nature of the analysis. So here always the search will happen based on a key. So key or keyword. So coexistence of the themes, sentiment mining, or playing a major role for the analysis in terms of the text mining. But here it is not like one particular mining process we are talking about. So a full wide range of statistical analysis, statistical data mining techniques, machine learning data mining techniques, machine learning analysis for the relationships and finding out the differences between the processes and the informations can also be considered in the data mining process. So in this way, we are trying to compare and contrast between the text mining and the data mining with respect to the 7 dimensions as nature of the data, language data, clarity and precision, consistency, sentiment, quality and nature of analysis. So any doubt in this comparison between the text mining and the data mining? Any doubts in the comparison of the text mining and the data mining?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So let us go back to the next topic. So after the comparison, so we are supposed to know the last conclusionary remarks about the text mining, to be frank. So we are supposed to do that. Before going into that, we are supposed to discuss the last bit, sorry. Before concluding it, we need to know about the best practices. So as all the supervised and unsupervised learning also we have learned and we have understood the best practices. So similarly, text mining is also got best practices. Best practices. So we all know that what do you mean by just a word best practice? So many of the best practices that can be applied to the the data mining, that is text mining process. So which can be using the data mining techniques will also be applied to text mining. See, when we were talking about the last topic for unsupervised learning in the course objective of 4, association rule mining. But in association rule mining also we were talking about the best practice of using clustering, classification, decision tree, etc. Correct. So similarly, even the text mining also got a best practice of applying to use the data mining techniques, so which can be also applied in text mining, or which can also be applied to the text mining. So that is the concept we are going to learn about. So you can use various data mining techniques. Okay, various data mining techniques that can be used and it can be applied to text mining. So it can be applied to text mining. So the knowledge level is we are trying to apply what we learned it so far as 3 supervised and 2 unsupervised data mining techniques as well as the text mining technique. So we are trying to see that how best we can apply the data mining techniques to the text mining. So data mining techniques to text mining. So here we are trying to achieve the knowledge level as K4. Okay, so apply. So we are trying to apply whatever we learned so far, that kind of practice or knowledge we can apply it, and the technique we can apply it into the text mining process. So what is the first and foremost important practice in terms of the text mining as the best practice? So this is the first one. Okay, so what is the first and foremost important practice which can be asked to solve the right question, or which can be asked to give a right answer to the right question? So that makes the sense. So a good question is that one which gives the answer, and it could lead to a lot of payoffs for the organization. See, always when I ask the question, or when a person asked me the question as an organization owner, so I must be in a position to give a correct and the right way, the right question I need to pick up, and the right answer I need to give it to the end user, or give it to the end person, or whoever the person is asking, because the purpose and the key question will define how and what levels of the granularity of the text document metrics would be made, because granularity means very low, at the lowest level of the data, means I can say that inside, completely digging into the data which will happen. So that will be helping us to define how and what levels of the text document metrics could be made. So very simple example, we can take it as in a TDM. So what we were discussed about in the previous class as term document metrics. So in term document metrics as an example, so this is defined for simple searches, what we can make it. So there we have seen the example of getting the word. Okay, so let me go back and show you. So the term document metrics like this we have been considered yesterday to understand. See, in the document one how frequency of the investment word came, profit word came, happy, success, etc., etc. So the frequency of occurring of those particular pattern or those particular word or sentences or phrases we have been checked it, isn't it? So for that reason, the TDM normally defines for simpler searches. So TDM is normally defined for very simple searches. Simple searches. And this simple search would be different from those what we use it to do a complex sentiment analysis or semantic analysis or kind of a network analysis. So semantic, syntactic, sentiment, network, all these analysis are the complex analysis. But a very simple search, I'm trying to find it out number of times the happy word has come in the paragraph. So such kind of a lowest level of the data. So what levels of the granularity the TDM is going to be made of or created. So it will be helping us to do the very simple searches. So this is the first and foremost important best practice we need to do it. So we should not have a lot of complicated things to be there in our TDM. So let us start with the simple, then we can go ahead to achieve the complex kind of analysis. The complex analysis could be sentimental analysis, semantic analysis, syntactic analysis, or network analysis. So you can list it out all these four as the different variants of analysis. So sentiment, semantic, syntactic, as well as the network analysis, as well as the network analysis. So this is the first and foremost important thing to be considered as the best practice of the text mining process. Okay, so the second important thing to be understood is the one of the important practice, I could say. Okay, so the second important practice is to be very much creative. So we must be very much creative because we are trying to process social media data, Twitter data, FB data, text, audio, video, mixed data. Okay, and it is absolutely unstructured data which is comprising of words, sentences, phrases, etc., etc. So the second important practice is to be very much creative and open, is to be very much creative and open in proposing imaginations, proposing imagination or imaginative hypothesis, imaginative imaginative hypothesis. So this is very much important as the second important best practice. So the second important best practice is to be very much creative and open in proposing the imaginative hypothesis for a solution or for the solution. So thinking outside the box is very important. We cannot always have a boundary, and we cannot always say that, okay, this is my syllabus, let me learn only this. Okay, you may get passing marks or you may get highest marks in the IA or in the final exam, but you cannot be really convincing your clients or customers when you go and work on big data analytical projects. So you need to think outside the box. That is very, very much important. So when you are thinking outside the box, when I say not stipulated with the number of lines of text or number of lines of content, what you are going to read and understand. So both in terms of the quality, both in terms of the quantity of the proposed system. So you need to see that what is the frequency of finding the high quality data sets which are very much required for me to do this hypothesis or finding out the imaginative hypothesis, hypothesized solution. So examples you can consider are text document metrics of a consumer sentiment. So that could be combined with the customer order data and in the order to develop the comprehensive view of the customer behavior. So as I was talking to you, so customer order data, customer order data, and even I could say that the prioritized order or high order or something like that it comes. So we need to see that the customer sentiment data, so that could be combined with the customer order data in terms of to achieve a very good comprehensive view of the customer behavior. Okay, so it is very important to assemble a team and that has a very healthy mixture of the technical as well as the business skilled people to do this particular practice. So this is the second best practice. So now the third best practice we are supposed to take it. So the next important best practice or the third best practice is it is important to consider, or it is very important for us to pursue the problem, okay, iteratively. So we need to pursue the problem very much iteratively. We cannot say always A plus B is equal to C. A plus B is equal to D also, or A minus B is equal to D also may come. So we don't know, okay. So iteratively. Okay. So when I say the term like iteratively, so too much of the data can be overwhelmed and the infrastructure, and also it could be very much troublesome to other mind. So it is better to divide and conquer the data, because it's a very massive data. As in terms of the text, we are trying to get it in the text mining process. So we need to apply the divide and conquer methodology, or divide and conquer the problem with a simpler the term document metrics or the text document metrics. We need to do it. So we need to split the data. So we cannot have 1,000 pages of the book to be mined. So we can divide it into 10 parts. So each 100 pages are being considered. Again, categorization is done again within the 100. So we can categorize. So something like that we are trying to do it. So we with the fewer documents and the few data sources, best analysis can be done. So then later we can expand it by an iterative process. Okay, so which will help us to increase even the predictive accuracy also. So by doing this iterative process of pursuing the problem and divide and conquer method to be applied, so we can achieve actually better and improvised predictive accuracy. We can achieve the improvised and better predictive accuracy. So this is about the third best practice to be considered or to be handled. So the last is because, as I mentioned, text mining is a form of the data mining initially when I started explaining you the best practices. So there are variety of data mining tools. There are variety of data mining tools which might be open source or which might be commercialized. Okay, so the various data mining tools can be used to test the relationships in the TDM. To test the relationships in the text document metrics. So the different decision tree algorithms could also be used because we need to categorize the data. So we need to put forth our categorized information to run in a clustered way. So decision tree algorithms could also run along with the side by side. The clustering also can be done. So cluster analysis can also be done. So the decision trees, and side by side the clustering analysis also can be performed. Clustering analysis also can be performed, and even other techniques also can be applicable on to such kind of the data when you're trying to find it out with the multiple techniques. And there are a lot of scenarios which we call it as a what if scenarios. Okay, so what if scenarios to be considered, which will help us to build the confidence in the problem solution, and we can also test the solution for the better accuracy. And before committing saying that our solution is the best solution, before deploying it, we can really test it out for the accuracy and the better efficiency. Then finally we can deploy that model or deploy that information. So this is the 4 best practices to be considered in the text mining process. Okay, so finally we can say that we started understanding the first objective of the lesson for the course objective of 5, that is compare and contrast the text mining process as the initial topic we are being concluding today. So the text mining is being divided into an unstructured text to discover the valuable insights about the business. The text is gathered. So the 3-step process also we have discussed in the text mining architecture. So the first is gathering the data. The second process is the structuring of the TDM, that is text document metrics. The third one was the mining the data, means we are trying to discover the valuable insights about the business in mining the text data. So that is TDM. And we have seen even the frequency of the bag of the words to be considered as in the corpus documents of TDM, and the TDM can also be used for mining, which is very much useful in finding out the patterns, insights of the data. So while the technique is very important to consider and process it as the business objective, which always says that we need to well understand the text information and should always keep it in our mind to give the better and efficient analytical outcome. So this is about the text mining for the day. So we have done with a brief introduction and learning about the practices, considerations to be handled while creating the TDMs, that is text to document metrics, and even we have seen the various applications where the text mining can be utilized. Okay, so this completes the text mining topic for the day. Okay, so now I will be 1 minute. Can I show you this? Let me see. You're supposed to do a quiz. Okay. So which I already gave you yesterday. I don't know how many of you have completed. Okay. So let us discuss the answers directly today here. So it's a kind of a class quiz which you can later upload it. So tomorrow is the deadline what I have been put forth. Okay, so let me see if any one of your friends have been answered these questions. Okay, Aishwarya has done, Amruta has done. So let me take up this Aishwarya's only. Already the answers would have been there, but let us also discuss those things in depth. Okay, oh, she has already answered. Okay, fine. So which type of the modelings are the decision trees?